Okay everyone, welcome to Step 2, Unfolding and Scaling Your pepakura files. If you haven't seen Step 1 of where to find pepakura files, go ahead and click the annotation that'll be located right over here. Okay, so, assuming you have your file and it's not unfolded, here's what we're going to do to make sure it is unfolded. Now, the first thing I like to do is go to Settings, Other Settings, and down here at the threshold, a lot of times it'll say 175. I like to bring it down to 160. It smooths it out a bit, there's less folds for you to do and all that other stuff. So go ahead and just click OK, and now your models become smoother. So go ahead and click the Unfold button. Now it's going to ask you for some kind of scale, and who knows, maybe you don't know how to do millimeters. So what I like to do is go ahead and go to Google and type in inches, IN, 2 millimeters, mm, and then say you want the helmet to be 13 inches tall. It'll give you 330 millimeter conversion. So then come back to your file. In the unfold here at height, just do 330. Spacing of parts, I personally like to do 5. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And we have a quickly generated unfold. Now, I'm not sure what kind of paper this is set to. So I'm going to go ahead and up to the corner, go to File. We are going to go down to Print and Paper Settings. And right now, its default is A4. So because I live in the US, I'm going to change that to letter. And I'm going to change my spacing from 15 down to 5 for these margins, just so I have that little extra room to work with. I'm going to go ahead and click OK. It makes my boundaries and my paper according to the correct size. So, now, I forgot there's this antenna thing here. And we don't know how far that is from the top of the head. And we don't know about this little visor top, mohawk. So, with the newest version of Pepakura Designer, it has a nice little tool for us. So if we go to 2D menu, Edit Mode, and then we go down to Measure Distance Between 2 Points, we'll click on we'll zoom in here, we'll get to the top of the helmet here, because that's where our head would be more or less. And we're going to click there, and then we're going to click the top of the mohawk. So that's telling us it is 20 millimeters. So we're like, okay, we want the entire helmet to be 13 inches tall, for say, just an example, the example we're using. So we're like, okay, so if our head is 13, and that's 330, we need to go ahead and add 20 for that to make up for the mohawk. So we are now at 350 millimeters. And then we'll go back, and then we'll do the same thing again. Edit mode, measure distance between 2 points. We'll go from the top of the mohawk to the top of the nav, and that's 84. So we'll go ahead and add 84 to that. 4, 5, and 8 is what, 13, 8, 9, 10, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, 13. And now we're at 434, which is 17 inches tall. So that's how tall it's going to be from the bottom of this to the top of this thing right here. So we're going to go ahead and go back to 2D menu, change scale, scale factor, and for a height, we are going to be putting in our 434 that we now have. And go ahead and click OK, and it'll change accordingly. So now we'll go ahead and click back here on our Select and Move tool. And you can see this is pretty much just a big jumbled mess right now. So what I'm going to do is the third button over here, the little zipper, the Divide and Connect button, I'm going to click on that. I'm going to zoom in onto my pieces and just start breaking it apart where I think it would make easy work for me to do. And if you just hover over a section, it'll show you where that piece would attach to. So I see this piece right here attaches to this one, so I'll go ahead and disconnect that, and I'll bring these together. Same with this, bring this together. Because bigger pieces means less I have to cut out and work with later. So we'll just go ahead and start moving our pieces up, and it doesn't fit within the parameters here of the page. So I can do a couple things. I can either just flip it one way 90 degrees, drag it over, and now it fits. So we can go ahead and bring our pieces up, but let's say we have just a completely odd piece. So let's just grab this piece for instance. It does fit like this, but it's also kind of crooked. So if we come here to the rotate parts tool, the little 3 dots all connect together, these pop up. So we'll click on the first one, click and hold on the second piece, and we can freely rotate this in any direction. So now let's just get it to stand up a bit more straight, and then we'll go ahead and move the piece over, and now we have plenty of room to add in other pieces in. Now just be careful when getting to these close edges. I always go a couple areas away with the arrow keys, just so that way I don't think it'll be printed off the page, because sometimes it will be. It's not perfect. So I'm not going to make you guys watch me unfold this entire thing. These are just the quick basics of how to do it. And before you print, remember to always go to File and Print Preview. When this pops up, part of development may not fit on the printable area. Adjust scale? No, because we already set the scale to what we wanted it. So then just go through and make sure that all your pieces are within the page and nothing will be cut off. So from there, go ahead and hit print, but don't do that right away. Make sure to hit close, go to 2D menu again, and make sure show edge ID is checkmarked, because as of right now, if you printed it, you're not going to have anything to work with. But if now when you zoom in, you'll have all the ID pieces here, so you know what pieces connect where. And there's a few other tricks I can show you right now before we close this. Let's say you're working with one big solid piece like this right here. You don't want to have to cut, go in, dip, cut. You want everything to be on one side. So just hit this 5th button in right here. The little person next to the book is what it looks like to me. And it says flap tool switch. So then if you do that, see right here how the flap's currently on this side? Go ahead and click on that. It'll drag it to this side. So now you can just do a clean cut down that way. And we can move this one out of here and bring this one in. So now we just have a clean cut down here, and then we have all our flaps on one side. So this is step 2 on making your pepakura pieces. Stay tuned for step 3. Until then, I'll see you next time.